This is 5 on your side at 4. Focused on you.
Breaking news as we go on the air at 4. A federal jury has just ruled in the defamation case against former President Donald Trump. According to the verdict, Trump must pay an additional $83.3 million to E. Jean Carroll. Thanks for being here at 4. I'm Kay Quinn.
And I'm Brent Solomon. The jury found Trump should pay Carroll $18.3 million in compensatory damages, $11 million for a reputational repair campaign, and then $7.3 million for emotional harm. We will have more on this breaking story for you. That's coming up tonight at 5.
New details about a shooting that left a teenager dead. That boy is one of many minors shot in our area just this week. Right now, groups are working to put an end to continued violence involving kids. Just hours ago, we learned a 15-year-old boy died after police say he accidentally shot himself Thursday.
5 on your side, Travis Cummings has new details about this situation and the recent violence involving young people.
Investigators certainly have their hands full this week in both St. Louis City and St. Louis County. So far this year, there have been 33 violent crimes in the city. That's according to our KSDK tracking. At least 3 of those involved young people. The latest incident happened Thursday afternoon when police say a 15-year-old boy shot himself in the head. Witnesses told police that the teenager, who has not yet been identified, was trying to put a bullet in the gun when it fired. He was shot in the head and later died at the hospital. This year, there have been at least 12 homicides in the city of St. Louis. Just this week, there were 3 shootings involving juveniles, and again, 2 of them died. We talked to Heidi Sigatan, who works with Safe Connections, a group that provides therapy and support to victims of violence.
It breaks my heart because teens haven't even really had the chance to do much with their lives yet. It's so much wasted potential. And I believe we can do better as a community, and we need to do better. So I think part of that is helping youth understand that some of these short-term decisions can have such long-term impact.
Coming up later at 6, we'll hear more from Heidi at Safe Connections about ways in which everyone can step up to help save the lives of our youth.
All right, Travis, thank you. If you have any information that can help, call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. By the way, we have a list of resources for victims and their families at ksdk.com.
Right now, the Mineral Area Major Case Squad is working an active case in Iron County, Missouri. Police say they are looking into a homicide that happened on Turkey Road in Middlebrook last night. The man killed is identified as Daryl Sharp. Police are asking the public for help finding a suspect. They're looking for a gray and black Chevy pickup truck with license plate number 0PDY90. You're asked to call the Iron County Sheriff's Department if you've seen it. That number is at the bottom of your screen.
Well, the man involved in an hours-long standoff at a downtown hotel is now facing charges. 43-year-old William Gurley is charged with kidnapping, endangering the welfare of a child, and unlawful possession of a firearm. Police say he held a woman and children inside of a room at the Jury Plaza Hotel Wednesday. The woman and kids were not hurt. Police say he is being evaluated at a hospital.
Right now, the St. Louis County Council is holding a meeting virtually. This after Tuesday's meeting was interrupted. A group of protesters disrupted a public comment portion of the meeting that night. Lawmakers were discussing taking up a measure related to Holocaust Remembrance Day when protesters began chanting "Ceasefire now." On the agenda for this rescheduled meeting, policies to address expired temporary license tags in St. Louis County.
Well, I'll tell you what, all of that fog has moved out, but we could see more rain this weekend. Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell here with your Weather First forecast.
And it won't be like the last series of rain events we've had in St. Louis. Tomorrow, what we see will be much lighter rain around the St. Louis area. So we won't have a whole lot, but it's pretty muddy in your backyard or in the park right now because of the 1 to 2 inches of rain most of us have seen this week. There's a look at St. Charles. Traffic's rolling along. The roads are mainly dry, but we do have a few areas of drizzle here and there. They're not showing up on the radar. It's extremely light. We're in the mid-40s right now, and we're continuing our trend of not much variation in temperatures. The moisture for tomorrow, it's down to our southwest, coming through Oklahoma now. We're still stuck with the clouds. There could even be a few patches of fog around overnight tonight, and certainly some patchy drizzle lingering as well, but nothing substantial. The light rain showers will move in tomorrow, especially after lunchtime, and the clouds slowly break on Sunday. See you in a few minutes. We'll talk about improvement next week.
All right, thank you, Scott. Our Away Forward series focuses on the organizations in our area and the impact they're making. This week we highlight an organization called Voice. It's a nonprofit fighting for quality long-term care in 21 counties. Our Justina Coronel takes us to St. Louis County with their message.
This is some of our first group of ombudsman volunteers, and these folks are the first folks that were really making a difference.
Pictures of the past.
This is from July of 1980.
These are moments forming the foundation for Voice.
Voice started back in 1979 when the long-term care ombudsman program started nationally. And so Voice started in order to provide that program to protect long-term care nursing home residents. There are 32,000 people who live in long-term care in the counties that we serve.
So an ombudsman is a person charged with representing the interest of another person, investigating any issues or complaints, and mediating a fair resolution.
Without us coming in, some of these residents don't have anybody to come in and advocate for them, and so they definitely feel less alone and less isolated with our presence.
Executive Director Marjorie Moore says their programs are needed more than ever.
We see a lot more issues that have to do with short staffing, and so we're a lot busier than we were even 4 years ago.
And they were called to help after the largest nursing home in St. Louis, Northview Village, abruptly shut down in December.
We knew that we had to spring into action as one of the few organizations and some of the few people that really step out and advocate specifically for people who are living in nursing homes.
The organization guided residents during that time and wants to continue helping others.
We are looking for increased funding so we can hire more people.
With more funds, the organization wants to provide more support to create even more positive moments.
We're here to help people navigate through that and really get a sense of how they can be empowered through that process.
For more information on this organization and others, go to ksdk.com/project5. Justina Coronel, 5 on your side.
Voice also provides educational programs for people who need guidance on aging. All of their services are free.
The state of Illinois continuing its support for communities that are considered food deserts. Starting this week, grocery stores in Illinois can apply for funding. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Illinois Grocery Initiative last year, and that will provide aid to areas that have a lack of access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Well, although the bi-state is a long way from the southern border, we question our state leaders about reforms they'd like to see when it comes to border policies.
Expanding state-funded education in Illinois, how much the Department of Education is requesting in its new budget.